Hello, Stitchy people. This video is going to be a little bit different than some of my other Flosstubes, and part of that is because I'm actually recording this as a live. It is almost 7 p.m. Eastern, and this is going to go live at 8 p.m. Eastern. So it's a private live at the moment. It'll be made public in a little bit, but yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there first. So that's why this is the floss tube. That's not a floss tube. Also, I'm not going to go in depth into my whips and my 2019 finishes and all that sort of stuff just yet. I'm actually planning a bigger video for that, hopefully this weekend. If not this weekend, then next weekend, or like the 20th of January. It's a holiday, so I'll be out of work. So if I can't do it this weekend, I'll do it that day. So that is coming. A 2019 wrap up is coming. A haul video or stash flash video, all that sort of stuff. It's coming. I promise. It's been one of those, you know how life gets, it's just that kind of thing. So I'm stitching a lot, but I haven't had a lot of energy for stuff that's not just sitting and stitching. So trying to do that, trying to get that video planned. I apologize for the noise in the background. I have 3 of my 4 cats are out and running around, and they're a little rambunctious this evening. So you may see them and hear them. You may hear the results of their actions as well. So apologize in advance. So anyway, the other reason I'm doing a live is, one, I have a brand new webcam. This is probably a different quality look than what you're used to the last couple of videos if you are a returning viewer. And that's because I've been using my phone, which is super great, but you can't use your phone for a live unless you have a certain number of subscribers, and I am not even close to that. But, thank you all of you who have subscribed. I hope you stay. I hope that I continue to provide stuff that you're interested in seeing. Yeah, not even close to 1,000 subscribers, but I am getting close to 100, and I might do a little bit of a giveaway kind of thing at 100 subscribers. We'll see how quickly that happens. If it doesn't happen too quickly, then yeah, I'll do a giveaway at 100 subscribers. If it happens tomorrow, then I might have to wait until maybe 150. But anyway, we'll see. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, so I'm trying out this new webcam. I'm trying out a live for the first time, and the reason I'm trying out a live for the first time is because come January 25th, I will be doing an official live as part of the DP-a-thon that is being put on by the diamond painting community. For those of you Stitchy friends who are with me, you may not be aware of diamond painting. If you're not aware of diamond painting, it's sort of like a paint by number situation, but instead of a canvas that is blank that you actually paint little blocks in, you have a canvas that has a pattern on it, kind of like a cross stitch pattern. It's got blocks on it, or possibly circles, depending on what kind of painting you're doing. But it's got all of the pattern already on the canvas. There's a sticky adhesive on the canvas, and then you take little plastic or resin diamonds, either square or round, and you stick those in the appropriate places on the canvas. So diamond painting is another craft that I'm into. In addition to cross stitch for probably the last 6 or 8 months has been my thing, like really my thing, in a way that nothing has been my thing before. But diamond painting is sort of like what got me really into crafting on a regular basis. There's a kitty back here. Look, look, look. Can you see? Oh, there we go. Can't point. There's a tail. Okay, anyway. Oh, there's the cat. That's Luna. Hi, Luna. Anyway. So diamond painting was kind of my gateway craft more recently. I mean, I've been crafting my whole life, but my friend Rachel Ray at Rachel Ray Craft introduced me to diamond painting a little over a year ago. And around Memorial Day, this past year, 2019, I sort of broke out of this funk I had been into for years, and diamond painting was part of that. Stiach was a huge part of that as well, and that process started back in 2018 and has sort of continued to evolve until today. So anyway, diamond painting, part of my crafty history. So I'm joining the DP-a-thon, which part of it, I know in the past they have done raising money for charity. So that's been part of the reason for the DP-a-thon. Part of it too is to help those of us who are YouTube creators who have a very small following to get a little bit more exposure, to get our videos out there, see if other people might be interested in what we're doing. So that video is going to be live. I'm going to be available to chat with in person, like in real time, if that's something that you're into. I will be doing a diamond painting. I'll be doing something related to diamond painting. I think I'm actually going to be working on a specific canvas. I might work on a small journal that actually has rhinestones. I haven't decided exactly what. I had considered possibly kitting something up versus working on an actual diamond painting, but I think it's more interesting if you try to work on a real diamond painting. But I've never done a live with real people. I've never done a diamond painting on video. So this could be one of those things that you log in for the train wreck. So I don't know what kind of things you all are into, but depending on what you're into, tune in January 25th. My time slot is 4:30 to 6 p.m. and that is Eastern Standard Time. So I'll put some reminders out there, and I will be setting that video. I'll be setting the time slot for that probably before the 20th of January. So it should pop up at some point, some kind of notification, and I'll give you reminders as well. So like I said, that's part of the reason for the live, just trying to figure stuff out, make sure I know how it all works. I'm hoping to do an actual live before then as well. I'm going to try to work with a couple of my friends here on YouTube and arrange that for a time that they'll be around to kind of pop in and say hi and, help me make sure that I understand what's happening and can kind of experience that environment before I get into a place where there will be hopefully lots of folks chatting, and I have to keep up with the actual chat stream as well as a craft that I'm doing in person. I also need to work on my camera angles and stuff. Obviously, if the point is to watch me diamond paint, this is not the camera angle that's going to work for that. You don't want to watch me looking at a canvas. You want to look at the canvas that I'm working on. So be working on that as well. So far, I'm really liking this webcam. I think that the video quality, at least on this end, while I'm looking at myself, the video quality looks pretty good. So definitely give me feedback. If you can't hear me, please let me know. I may need to work on the audio settings. So, and if the video is fuzzy, I think I can refocus the camera as well. So, any kind of technical feedback you have, certainly give me that. But since I called it a floss tube, let's talk some stitchy stuff. So don't have my whips and stuff here right this second. What I do have is this really awesome planner that I found out about, and I'm trying to remember how I even discovered this. Because I watch videos on YouTube, I watch other floss tubes. The ones that I have been watching lately, and I didn't link her yet, I can probably edit that down here. One of the newer ones I've been watching recently is Michelle Bendy Stitchy. Michelle G at Bendy Stitchy. She is super fun. I love that she's really down to earth. She's really laid back. She's got a really great voice to listen to, very calming and and fun to watch and all that sort of stuff. So I've been watching her a lot. I may have heard it through her. Or I may have found it through Jen Lee at Quirks and Stitches. Either way, I discovered this thing that Jen Lee is actually running. It's 24-hour cross stitch, or 24 hours of cross stitch. Hashtag 24 HOCS. So, and I don't know the nitty gritty details. So you'll want to look at those links. I do have the 24 hours of cross stitch links down here. You'll want to look up those details for yourself. But essentially, there's a Facebook group, and a couple of times a year they do a weekend where the goal is to do 24 hours of cross stitch within that time frame, within those 48 hours. And that can be 24 hours straight through. It can be 24 hours across the weekend. If you don't have time for 24 hours, then as much time as you can devote to it, whatever your personal goal is. It's a really laid back kind of situation. And then in addition to those kinds of events during the year, there are also year-long goals to try to meet. And the whole thing is just about getting you to stitch, giving you ways to kind of not necessarily hold yourself accountable, but give yourself goals so that you can stay on track and keep yourself in the game, even when other stuff is going on and, you might get discouraged and that kind of stuff. So it's a really cool kind of group. And one of the things that I found most helpful is that Jen Lee has created this planner. This planner is fantastic. And you may have already seen videos for it. If you haven't, definitely check out Jen's channel. She has a video where she discusses it. I think she's got two different videos, one where she sort of previews it and one where she discusses it in more detail. And she's got a link to a couple more people who discuss how they have done their planners, because essentially what she did was she made a PDF file, and you can purchase that PDF file. Links down here. In case you didn't know, this is where the links are. Let me say it like 70 more times. Sorry. Anyway, um, there's a link to her Etsy shop where she has that PDF available. It's $12, which I think is a pretty good deal for a planner, and it's 86 pages of planner pages. You can print as many or as few as you like. You can use what you want, you not use what you don't want, and you can, depending on your savviness with PDF files and with printers and that sort of stuff, you can actually adjust the size of the pages and the way they print out, so that you can, if you want to, put it in a smaller planner. One of the folks, and I'm so sad I can't remember her name, excuse me, one of the folks that Jen suggested, might have been Mel Stitches. It's in Jen's video. Check out Jen's video. Anyway, somebody else, she actually has one of those happy planner disc situations with her planner, and she made the pages smaller, printed them on 8.5 by 11 paper. There's another cat. And then cut the paper in half, and then she used her punch to do those nifty little ridgy punch things, and did put hers all in one of those happy planner binders. So there are a bazillion ways that you can set it up how it works for you. What I've done for the time being, and I may change this, I may not. So I just have this. I haven't put anything pretty here yet. I just have a plain old 8.5 by 11 3-ring binder. Actually, the binder's bigger than that. It holds 8.5 by 11 paper though. Duh. And because you needed to know that. And so this is what the first page looks like. And I've printed this on fairly nice paper. I mean, you could go to Staples and get it printed on fancy paper, stiff paper, whatever you're into and willing to pay for, you can pretty much do. And I'm not going to do a total flip through here, but I'll show you a couple of the pages that I've worked on. There's a page about kind of how to use this and all this sort of stuff. This is one of the first things I have in my planner. This is by no means a finished setup. This is just me getting my crap together quickly enough that I can start using it. So this is a whip list, which I really, really love. She's included this as an extra printable at the back of the PDF. And, so you can print extras of these. What I've done is I think I printed like 10 extras of these. So I can put these throughout. I can pepper those wherever I want. And you can see I've put at the top here a couple of 3 different, well, you probably can't read from that far. Anyway, apologies. So these first 3 at the top, these are whips that I started in 2019 that I intend to finish in 2020. So I've put those at the top of my list. I also have Stiach 5 that I sort of kind of started probably in 2018, and I would like to actually do that at some point this year, finish that up. So I put that on my list. And then I've got the 2-year-long stitch-alongs, the 2020 stitch-alongs that I have started thus far. And that would be the Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler 2020 SAL. I probably have all of those words in the wrong order, but it is a really cool Quaker style sampler that is designed by Fox and Rabbit Designs, and Linen and Threads is providing that for free through their website. It's really, really spiffy. I'm doing that on, I'll discuss this more. You'll get to see it next time. I'm doing it on that piece of snert fabric that I had from Mystic Fabrics. So because that's one of the few pieces I had that was massive, and this is as big as the Soya SAL. So this is 244 by 244 stitches. So it's big. I needed a huge piece of fabric. So I'm doing it on snert, and I'm using Threadworks Indian Tapestry variegated thread. Looks really cool so far. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen it. So that's a reason to follow me on Instagram. I think I have the link on my profile. Maybe. That's not really a shameless plug, but it is. Anyway. Okay. And then also the Animal Almanac SAL from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, which is super cute, but so far has been really frustrating. Really frustrating. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, so that's what I've got started so far for 2020. I do plan, this is getting into stuff I'm going to talk about another time, but I do plan on starting the Grimm's Fairy Tale stitch along very soon. I think the official release date is actually tomorrow, but somehow they had a glitch and the first pattern got released yesterday. So I may start that this weekend. We'll see. So that's the 10th. I think the Stitchonomy Homely Houseplants doesn't start until February, so I'll hold off on that. But I do have a couple of other small pieces. Oh, there's a peppermint purple stitch along. If you like black work, you may already know about peppermint purple. If you don't know about peppermint purple, you need to check out peppermint purple. There is a free year-long black work stitch along from Peppermint Purple. She's had to create a Facebook group for it because her email server broke. So many people signed up for it and she couldn't, her server and her email server would not work. So she had to set up a Facebook group. And what she's doing is she's releasing a pattern every week, and the pattern is designed to take maybe 15 minutes. So far we've done, or I haven't started it yet, but so far the cats are being so cute. So far, there have been 2 1-inch blocks for that stitch along. So haven't started it yet. I think I've decided on my fabric. Thanks to a friend of mine on Facebook, she reminded me inadvertently. She reminded me that I have a piece of white opal Ada. So I think I'm going to use that because I wanted to use something light colored because the color palette on that is basically a rainbow from top to bottom. It's a long piece, but it's not a massive piece. And because it's going to be rainbow colors, I really want those to pop and stand out, especially with the black frame. So I wanted something light, very neutral, very pale, but I didn't want to use plain old white or off-white Ada. And then I remembered that I had this piece of opal Ada, and I was so excited. I was going to use it for the Freudian stitch along that happened late last year, but that was not a stitch along that really grabbed me. I did pay into it. It was she was a brand new designer. It was her first SAL. I was super excited to support her and everything, and it ended up not being to my taste. So anyway, but I bought that opal fabric for that project and haven't used it, and I'm like, yay! Now I have this shiny white. So the fact that it's opal definitely makes up for the fact that it's just white Ada. So excited. Anyway, so Peppermint Purple SAL is coming up. Grimm's Fairy Tales is coming up. I also I have a special project that I am doing mostly because my friends Rachel at Rachel Ray Craft and Heike at Stone Cold Coffee Crafts. I found out about this through Rachel and sort of invited myself along to do it. And I don't know if they really necessarily wanted a third person to jump in there, but I was like, I need to do that with you. So I'll show you more about that. I'm hoping to get that started. I'm going to San Antonio next weekend for a convention, and I'm hoping to take that with me to get started. It should be a nice small project to carry with me. So gotta get the floss for it. So those are coming up. Anyway, TLDR, there's my whip list. There's also this really cool, these are whip cards. I'm not sure how Jen uses hers, what her specific intention was with these. I like it because you put the name of the whip, the designer, your stitch count. I don't keep track of stitch counts. I guess that's a big thing for other people. It's not something that I really pay attention to, but you can also list your fabric, your start date and your end date. And I think, I guess the idea would be if you have project bags and stuff like that, you could cut these out, drop that in your project bag so you know exactly what it is. This is the year-long ABC challenge. So the idea is to pick out projects that go along with the letters of the alphabet, and then the goal is to try to finish 12 or 24 of these letters. So pick a whip that, connect a whip to a letter of the alphabet, and then your goal is to finish that whip during the year. And you want to do that for 12 or 24 of them so that you hopefully have 12 to 24 finishes during the year, which I think is fantastic. So this one is not about any other stitching goal other than just try to finish it during the year, which is really awesome. So sorry about that. You can probably hear that notification. So Animal Almanac, that's a kind of a duh for A, so I feel a little uncreative for that, but that's A. Oh, so for O here, I've put obey the giant head. So Stiach along 5, one of the finish options. So the actual sampler says, "As for me and my house, we shall." And then the finish that I'm going to use is "Obey the giant head," and then it's got an image of the giant head from Rick and Morty. So if you're a Rick and Morty fan, you'll appreciate that. Um, and then S. For S, I have put in super old whip. So I'm giving myself a goal of trying to finish that sun and moon and stars cross stitch. You'll see that in my next floss tube. You've seen it in my first floss tube. I believe I showed that, but you'll see it in my 2019 Redux as well. So I'm going to set that as a goal for myself to try to finish that finally this year, to actually work on it consistently and get it done. So that's what I have in my alphabet so far. Running a little behind on that. Let me speed this up because I'm already 20 minutes in, and I thought this was going to be like a 5-minute video. So there's a monthly focus tracker, so you can pick a couple of things that you want to be. I don't know how well you can see this, so this is maybe completely worthless. But there's a monthly focus tracker. You can pick the things that you want to focus on specifically for each month. There's 2 little blocks for each of that. Highlights for January. And actually, if you go to Jen's video, you're going to see this better. So, and here's an actual monthly calendar. So you can also set yourself a goal of stitching for 24 hours each month at any point across the month, or you can set yourself a goal for stitching for 24 minutes each day of the month. So I've started by kind of putting in some times that I've already worked on my stitching. I actually am really lax about putting in my stitching time. Then there's weekly planning and recap, which I've printed out a ton of pages. And then there's these nifty monthly acrostics. So it's sort of similar to the year-long thing, except rather than finishing specifically, you pick a whip that fits that letter. And you can decide why it fits that letter. It's completely up to you. More creativity, the better. And then you set yourself a goal. So you might say, like, for this one, if I wanted to put, super old whip for S, because this is ready, set X's. Yes, ready, set, exit. I can read. Um, in my defense, I've had my eyes dilated today. I had my annual eye exam, and I'm still having trouble seeing text. So anyway, ready, set, exit. So if I want to do super old whip for the S again, then I could say, super old whip is an X or is an S, and I want to do 120 stitches on it this month. And actually, that's probably a really good idea. I should probably set that goal for myself. So anyway, definitely. Oh, and there's these January holidays, which is another way to set yourself some goals. So you can pick a project that fits a particular holiday, like Festival of Sleep Day, Penguin Awareness Day. Oh, Penguin Awareness Day. I can my animal almanac fits that one because this month is Aurora the Penguin. So I can do that, and then you stitch for 24 minutes or 120 stitches on each. Well, I have certainly stitched for more than 24 minutes on Aurora. Again, if you're following me on Instagram, you have seen the saga of Aurora. I will talk more about that later. So you can list your favorite designers, monthly recap, and all that fun stuff. So definitely check out Jen's channel. Check out her channel, her videos about the 24-hour cross-stitch planner, 24 hours of cross-stitch planner. Check out her video, check out her Etsy shop. I think it's really cool. Even if you only use it for a way to keep track of what you're working on and what you want to work on, and some goals and stuff for the future, I think it's super useful. So I'm super excited about it. Definitely will be using that. And I feel like here's the other thing I was going to talk about. So for those of you who have stuck around this long, so I have a super, super exciting, well, it's exciting to me. I don't know how exciting it'll be to you. I have a super exciting surprise coming up because I placed an order this week and I'm so excited about it. I didn't think I was going to be able to get this particular thing for quite a while yet because it's not, I mean, I think everybody knows about them, maybe. A lot of people know about them. I wasn't going to place an order because the shipping can be really, really expensive. So I needed to place a larger order so that I could get free shipping, so on and so forth. And I was going to hold off because I was going to talk about in my next floss tube how I need to hold off and save some money because I've been spending so much money, and I need to, do a no buy for a little bit. And I wasn't going to have stash flash, but then I did a thing. So I am super excited for that to come in when it comes. I'm not going to tell you what it is now. You'll have to wait. But I'm so excited. So excited. And I think you're gonna like it. So I definitely have some I definitely have some new thread coming in, some hand dyed thread coming in that I will tell you about. I have a new hand dyer that I am following on Facebook. I have gotten some fabrics from her. I got like a scrap bag just before the holidays, and I've now ordered some hand dyed floss from her. So that will hopefully be coming in. Probably not by the time I do the next floss tube, but certainly by the end of January, I should be able to tell you about those flosses that I bought. And when I do my stash flash in the next video, I will show you the fabrics. Her name is escaping me right now, but next time we talk about it, I think it's Kathy Davidson. Kathy Davidson, dying to cross stitch, dying to something. Dying, dying. So anyway, I'll have links for you next time. I'll show you the awesome stuff that I got from her, and then I'll show you my big surprise when it comes in. That may actually be here for the next floss tube. Maybe, maybe. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I know this has been kind of weird and all over the place. If you are still here, then drop me a heart. So happy to have you stick around and listen to my ramblings. And I hope you will join me for my live on January 25th from 4:30 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody.